So today we're working remotely from the beach, and I just want you guys to see this. I hope that it picks up clearly, but this water, it's not even blue, it's like green, but I mean, it's honestly a beautiful sight to see, sitting here on the beach, just hanging out, enjoying this weather. Not too hot, nice breeze. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day.
Don't take a star. My book. Make a little so you can lay down.
This is the office for today. I tried to show the water because, in my opinion, it's green. What do you think?
It's gorgeous. I don't know what color gorgeous is, but it's gorgeous. It's definitely more green than blue, though. That's about all I'm doing. Watch it burn me all stupid. I'm all patchy afterwards. I like the content you have in your YouTube channel. It is the real you. I also like your regular channel. Although I cannot follow Kevin. I like him, but cannot follow him.
I'm not trying to be funny. So why? Why are you trying to follow me? Or at least the humor component throwing you off.
Am I about to be in this joke?
Because I'm not trying to be funny. Unless you want to be.
I'm just trying to figure out what part of me to cover up.
You're gonna what?
But you can do whatever you need to do.
So today we are working remotely from the beautiful Emerald Gulf Coast shore as we hang out here at the beach. Today is April 5th, 2023, and odds are we will probably be spending a lot more time in these areas, this environment. More so moving forward. First full year, spring, going into summer, living here at the beach in Florida. Question still remains to be determined if we are going to end up traveling this summer. Odds are probably won't be in the van, but maybe internationally. As we've posed a question on previous videos, asking where we should go this summer, taking suggestions, but also thinking to myself, maybe this isn't the last stop. Maybe we pick a different beach and, I don't know, maybe we move somewhere else. Maybe we sell everything. Maybe we sell everything and literally leave the U.S., leave the United States, sell everything, move to another country.
A lot of people say Mexico. Mexico has been the... Here, so in my face. Mexico has been the suggested one because of don't drink the water, but the food's really good and the prices are really good.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the cartels, so I'm not 100% sure if Mexico is going to be my first option. However, I do have a list of pros, cons, possible considerations, and honestly, things are getting so bad here in a variety of different ways. My list starts off with a list of problems. And these problems include inflation, crime, violence, layoffs, political duress. Trump arrested and now in court a former president of the United States. Can you believe that? Granted, they say that he could potentially face up to 134 years in jail. Odds are he won't see a moment behind bars, which leads to the next problem, which is corruption, greed, international conflict, spying balloons, lying government officials, manipulation of money, and trust funds like income taxes and Social Security. The list can continue on. I just chose to stop there.
Now, don't forget, it's not just your major government officials in the House and in the Senate, but don't forget your state, local officials also.
Yes, that goes without saying. Now, not to dwell on or harp on the negatives here, let's focus on the positives. The positives being, what would be a better move? What would be a better option? Where would we go? 4 countries of possible consideration. Spoiler alert, Mexico is not on the list. We've got Canada, Costa Rica, New Zealand, and Portugal.
I vote for New Zealand.
We got a Kiwi over here, a Kiwi transplant voting for New Zealand. And folks, let's be honest here. Skyrocketing costs of living, higher prices for food, fuel, living expenses have gone through the roof. The basic necessities day to day to get by, healthcare costs, inflation in general is just unbearable for some, for most really. The political landscape, there's just too much fighting, too much arguing, too much finger pointing, too much back and forth, which ultimately further perpetuates the higher costs of literally everything. Statistically speaking, from the United Nations and statistics from the World Bank say that 2.8 million Americans have chosen to leave America and live abroad in another country. And this isn't the first time that I've considered this, but I will say that now it is becoming more of an option, mainly because you don't need the jab status to cross the borders. You don't need the jab status to cross the borders, and I double checked. New Zealand and Portugal both don't require it as well. I didn't check Costa Rica or Canada. Last we checked, Canada did require it last summer when we were trying to travel full-time van life. But those would probably be the last 2 on my list. Whereas New Zealand, I don't know. I think New Zealand might actually top the list. But I don't think New Zealand quite has the weather that we have here. No. We are spoiled. We are spoiled, as well as some other possible drawbacks. What we see here, you gotta, and it's not just me. Maybe you guys have asked the question or thought about it. What would actually provoke someone? But if it were me, what would provoke me to sell everything and move to another country and leave America? Again, cost of living is not necessarily the driving factor here. It's not a huge problem because of the assets that we have, the wealth that we continue to build, the businesses that we run, the savings and investments that we can continue to contribute to. And we can afford to absorb, theoretically, the higher costs, or lack of better words, of housing, higher cost of energy, the increased cost of healthcare, food, etc. This is what I've been telling you guys about insulating yourself from inflation. Inflation affects everyone. We are fully aware. She was reading an article yesterday or day before talking about how a family of 4 could go to the movie theaters and spend $8 and get, tickets and popcorn and a drink. And today, you can't even get a ticket for $8. You can't get a popcorn for $8. But ironically, even years ago, I can remember going to the movies and it was always expensive in relative relation to the value that you would receive from the dollars that you were earning for the work that you were doing to spend in the economy. However, as the prices continue to rise with inflation, the key is insulating yourself, and metaphorically speaking, you want to insulate yourself with more money. When it's cold outside, you want to insulate yourself with a big jacket or a scarf or some other clothing that can keep you warm, gloves, beanie, toboggan, or whatever, hood. But in the economy, When it gets cold, you want to insulate yourself with money. When inflation starts running up, you want to insulate yourself with more money. The ability to make money, wasting less, spending less where you can, and making that money that you have bring back more. Far above and beyond the rate of inflation, which is high, really high at this point in time, and only getting higher as the Fed continues to try to fight it by raising interest rates to no avail. Really only putting people and banks in the middle of this and potentially at the greatest risk. Therefore, not to get off topic here, but insulating yourself with money, again, is going to be a caveat to it. Enough to get by, enough to survive, enough to pay your bills, enough to have an emergency safety net and have diversity. But that money needs to be put into cash flow producing assets and other wealth building tools, not necessarily 100% relying on the banks to keep you safe. The banks will not keep you safe, and the banks will not grow your money. But either way, I digress. Let's get back to leaving America and pointing out and stating that America is a great country, but it is not perfect. This country has a history, a foundational history that no one should really be proud of, honestly, if I were to say so myself. We've traveled only to Mexico as another country, and I think I've been to the Bahamas, but briefly as a port of call on a cruise, so I don't necessarily really consider that. But we really need to get out and stretch our legs and experience other countries, their economies, their people, their politics, their lifestyle, their business opportunities, to really get a better idea and a better picture, because maybe this isn't exactly where we need to be. Would you go?
It depends. It depends on when and how it would affect the kid, and that's about it, honestly.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Experiencing the schools and the educational system, as well as the social component, which, being an interracial family, traveling, living abroad, the safety aspect, the safety components, and everything that comes with that, because nowhere is perfect, and people suck everywhere. But perhaps this is something that we should look into as a way to position ourselves to live a more minimalistic lifestyle and a much happier approach to life. Maybe we could find that by selling everything and leaving America, moving to New Zealand, moving to Portugal, moving to another country. Portugal actually, maybe dual citizenship could be an option where we could return at some point in time. But Portugal actually, from my slight research that I've done and the people that I've spoken to, it's very easy to become a citizen of Portugal. Again, no jab status required. And NHR keeps income taxes low. This umbrella is about to impale somebody. What they have is a resident non-habitual HBR status, which brings your income tax down. But depending on our citizenship status, that would all play into that, especially since we earn money online. But then would we be paying both taxes? Would we be paying U.S. taxes? Would we be paying Portuguese taxes? That's to be determined, or New Zealand taxes. Because that's the other thing. People choose different states. For instance, Florida has no state income tax.
Is Tennessee the same?
Tennessee, I believe, is the same, but has a really high sales tax. Yeah. I was reading a headline of an article that I was going to bring to you guys in a future video about a couple that moved from California to Utah to start a business because of the taxing benefits in Utah and the drawbacks of California. California is experiencing mass exodus for a variety of reasons, but the financial component and how bad it hurts people's income, the money that they make, and then that money being just wildly and wastefully distributed to ridiculous causes.
Now, don't forget, Delaware and I believe it's Minnesota or Missouri both have really, really good tax breaks for businesses opening your business there?
Yeah, I'm not looking to go anywhere where I'm going to have a harsh winter, so that's out. Now, the beauty of it is that no matter where we go, we can get away from the political drama here. In theory, that would be the ideal situation. We could get away from all the division and the stress and the fighting over money and the inherent problems of capitalism, as well as handouts and poverty and welfare, as I segue away from talking about California. But at the end of the day, we still got to make money. But it doesn't have to be, making money at the expense of others. It's really just a point of making money to survive and build wealth, have a safety net, have savings, have investments, and enjoy your life, which we could still do by making YouTube videos, traveling abroad, working remotely, and still have the ability to earn a considerable income, still invest, still build wealth, and build our net worth and cash flow producing assets that we could acquire in a variety of different countries.
So it just occurred to me that we don't have to really worry about school systems in other places. We could learn to do the whole homeschool thing, because a lot of people, they swear by it, and that would give us the chance to travel as opposed to set roots in one place. Travel and give our child a education she could never ever get in one place.
You're 100% absolutely correct. We've actually seen YouTubers who do this. I don't remember the exact name, but we saw Kara and Nate. They spent time with them on their catamaran sailboat, and they're a family raising, I believe, 2 children on this boat, young children. But again, we want to experience the social connection and network and relationships that can be built around the world. And I would say that living on a boat isolates you and your children from having the ability to socialize.
Yeah.
The homeschool component could potentially prevent them from having the ability to socialize. The beauty of it is, at our daughter's age, she has gained these social skills. But I would say that I think that maybe, it would be unfortunate not to be able to grow your core group of friends before deciding to travel.
I agree. So that was why when we decided to move here for 7th grade, she already had core friends that she'd been with since kindergarten. So she has those core. She has the core friends from kindergarten till 6th grade. And now she's making those core friends from 7th grade till whenever we decide to try something different, if we decide to try something different in the long run.
But for her, I know she would say, let's go to London.
Oh yeah, all day long. She wants to go to London. The boat is an option because I'll vomit daily if we try to live on a boat.
But no, I mean, and this is actually a question that we've had ourselves, that we've asked ourselves, is like, what would happen if Kara and Nate had a child enter into their life? Would they continue to travel like they do? If you guys ever watch Kara and Nate, they travel all the time around the world.
Airplanes a lot of airplanes, which is very hard to do with a newborn and a toddler and children in general, as often as they do it.
And and then you say, well, maybe they'll just take a break and come back. But I know as a creator, they're probably thinking, well, we don't necessarily want to risk taking a break from our channel and then coming back a year or 2 later, when the kid's ready to travel with us, or we're ready to travel with the child. But these are all considerations, possibilities. No lie, though, folks. It's not all that bad, but things are continuously getting worse. We try to find the silver lining in the best of every possible situation, try to position ourselves to move away from the problems and the drama. But we don't necessarily only have to be isolated to the US of A. And there's a whole world out there that we could travel to and explore and potentially sell everything. Leave the United States, leave America, and shack up in another country, or just consider traveling and roaming nomads, just exploring all that is out there that we have yet to even scratch the surface of, and potentially find even more beautiful beaches than the ones that we have here that we're sitting in front of right now. What do you guys think? Have you traveled? Have you been around the world? Is there anywhere in particular that you would consider living instead of the United States in America? And have you made that jump? Are you an expat? Are you a potentially interracial couple, or maybe just people of color traveling to new and different places and experiencing how their society reacts and treats the people in general? Because all it really is, how do people treat people?
Yeah.
How do people treat people? And you know, me personally, I like to kind of like just chill, keep to myself, so it really doesn't matter. But
Whereas me, I'm like, hey, let's all be friends.
well, when you meet the right people, it's easy to be friends, but not everybody falls into that category. Case in point, we lucked up and met Justin. His name's not
Exactly.
His name's Justin. His name's Justin. We met Justin and Lauren and their entire family, and or at least the family that's here locally. And you know, it happens. It's organic, and you know, we took the plunge to sell everything in Georgia and come to Florida. So maybe the next step is selling everything in Florida and just going to another country or different countries and seeing what's out there. What do you guys think? Drop a comment down below. Let me know. Give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on alerts and notifications. And if you want access to free stocks, Moomoo's giving away 15 free stocks. There's a link in the description down below, as well as other forms of diversity, security, and cash flow that you guys probably are fully aware of. But if you want more information, down there for you. Stay tuned for the next video. More than likely coming back to you from the beach at some point in time, or maybe a different beach on the Gulf Coast. Maybe we'll spend some time traveling up and down the coast. We really do like Pensacola Beach. Maybe we'll spend some time there. But either way, you guys take care, be safe, be kind to one another. I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Bye.